Hello students, welcome to Sri Vardhaman Vidyalaya Online Education. Myself Sonal Patel. I will take science subject in 9th standard. In 9th standard science, there is a three part. One is physics, chemistry and bio. So today we will see the chapter 8, physics part, motion. Introduction. In everyday life, some object at rest and other in motion. So example of stationary object. Stationary means the object is at rest. The object on the earth like road, bridge, tree, building, etc. So this object does not move. They will be at a rest. Example of a motion. Blood being circulated in a body, water flowing in a river, tides of sea, the earth around the sun in the Milky Way galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy with respect to the other galaxy. The motion of molecules of gas, motion of air, motion of sound waves. So these are the example of an motion. Some of the motions are invisible and some of them are experienced indirectly. Invisible means you cannot see the motion. For example, the motion of molecules of gas, and some of them are indirectly you can experience, such as a motion of an air. So these are the example of an motion. Each object in the universe is in a motion. Some of them are moving along the straight line, some of them moving along the circular path or in a curved path, whereas some have a vibrational motion. So in this chapter we will study the simplest motion along in a straight line. We will understand the concepts of physical quantity like distance, displacement, velocity, acceleration. So this is the picture of some of the motion, type of the motion, straight motion or free fall. Here you can see this is a straight motion and here it is a free falling. Projectile motion, this is a projectional motion, circular motion. This is the example of a circular motion, that is an earth is moving in a circular form. Rotational motion, that is a fan is rotating. Acceleration motion, in a clock you can see the pendulum will be moved here and there. This is, see here, this is a vibrational motion. Linear motion, curve line motion, accelerator motion, circular motion and rotational motion. First, the concept of motion. So we can see what is motion. If a position of a body changes with the time, it's said to be in motion. If position does not changes within a time, it's said to be stationary. You can see the example. Suppose you are sitting in a school bus along with a school bag. Bus is moving towards the school. If you look out through the window, you would see the trees, buildings, poles of electricity are found to be in motion. If your friend standing on the road sees you and your bag, he observes you and your bags are in motion, whereas him, buildings and trees are stationary. The body, whether it is in motion or stationary, depends upon the position of observation. Thus, the motion is relative. Position. It is necessary to decide position of the body. If it is motion is to be desired. So the point which is used as a reference to indicate the position of a body is called reference point. So reference point we can see within an example. Reference point can be selected as per your convenience. If someone is asked you, Where is Gandhinagar? So this question may have many answers. That is Gandhinagar. Here it is in Ahmedabad and Baroda. Gandhinagar. So from Ahmedabad to Gandhinagar it is 30 kilometer, and from Vadodara to Gandhinagar it is 130 kilometer. So in the first answer is Ahmedabad and second answer is Vadodara are the reference place. Thus in the description of position of the body, reference point must be mentioned. Distance. The length of the path of motion of an object during given time period is called motion. Displacement. In a given time interval, change in position of a body in the given direction is called displacement. If a body is on an x1 and x2 position at the time t1 and t2 respectively, its displacement in a time interval. Time interval is change in a time, so it will be denoted by the delta t is equal to t2 minus t1. t2 is a final time and t1 is an initial time. So displacement is denoted by the letter S is equal to final position minus initial position. So final position is an x2 and initial position is an x1. So the displacement S is equal to x2 minus x1 gives the magnitude of the displacement. The direction is from initial position to the final position. Here we can see the difference between the distance and displacement. So see this diagram. Suppose a car is moving in the direction of x-axis. So this is the direction, this is considered this is on a road and the car is moving along this x-axis. At the time t1, so this is a time t1, the car is at an A, that is the car will be at the position A. At the time t2, this is the t2, the car reaches the position B. So from an A, it will be reaches an a B. So at that time, the time is an a T2 and comes to the C at the time T3. So afterwards, from an a B position, the car will come back to the position C. At that time, the time is an a T3. Here the O is an a reference point. So this O is an a reference point. So in this one, we can study the three cases, and from these three cases, we can differentiate the distance and displacement. So case 1, so in case 1, the car is moving from an A to B and B to C. Now in the time period del t, so you know that is del t is a change in a time. So change in a time is equal to final time minus initial time. So A is at A position, the time is t1, so this is an initial time, and C is a final and it is a time t3 is a final position. So del t is equal to t3 minus t1. The path length or the distance travel. So already we have seen the definition of distance. Distance is nothing but the path length. So that is equal to length of the path of motion from A to B. So from A to B you have to calculate the distance. Then B to C you have to calculate the distance. So that is length of path of motion from B to C. So AB plus BC. So AB means what? The point at an B is an 70 and the point at an A is an 20. So 70 minus 20, BC is an a point at an B is an 70 and the point at an C is an 40. So 70 minus 40. So 70 minus 20 is an 50 and 70 minus 40 is an 30. When you plus this, you will get an 80 kilometer. So this is the distance traveled by a car, that is 80 kilometer. So same position, we are going to calculate the displacement of the car. So displacement of a car is nothing but the final position minus initial position. So position of an C minus the position of an A. So position of an A is considered as an initial position, and the position of an C is considered as an final position. So in C it is an 40 and in A it is an 20. So 40 minus 20 is equal to 20 kilometer. The displacement of a car is 20 kilometer. But the direction of a car is also important. Magnitude of the displacement without the description of the direction is meaningless. To describe the displacement, the direction is also necessary beside the magnitude of the displacement. So the car undergoes the displacement of 20 kilometer in the positive x direction. Case 2. If a car, after traveling along the path A, B, C, A. So in the first case, we have seen up to the C. Afterwards, the car is moving back to the position A. So here the total distance is AB plus BC plus CA. So AB is an 50, BC is an 30, we have seen in the case 1. And AC is what? 40 minus 20, that is 20. So when you add this, you will get an 100 kilometer. Displacement. Here you can see that the car is started from a point A and it will come back to a point again A. So the final position and initial position both are same. So the final position is A and the initial position is also A. So that is 20 minus 20, it is 0. So in these cases, initial and final position are same. So the displacement would be 0. Case 3. Now if a car reaches the point O by traveling along the path A, B, C, A, O. So in the case 2, the car is stopped at an A. So again what happens, it will be moves from A to O. O is considered as a reference point. So the total distance is AB, BC, CA and AO. So that is 50, 30, 20 and here it is an 20 minus 0 is 20. So when we add this one, you will get an 120 kilometer. Displacement. So here the displacement is final position is an O and initial position is an A. So final position is 0, initial position is 20. So when we get, you will get an answer minus 20 kilometer. Here the displacement is from A to O is 20 kilometer in a negative direction. From the above 3 cases, the path length is always positive, where the displacement can be positive, negative or 0. Distance traveled by a body gives the total length of the path of motion, where displacement shows final effect of the motion only. Displacement does not give the information about the path on which the body has traveled. The SI unit of the distance and displacement both are in meter. In practical unit like centimeter and kilometer is also used. To describe the displacement, the magnitude and the directions are required, such as the physical quantity are called as a vector quantity. To describe the total length of path of motion, the direction is not needed, only the magnitude is important. Such physical quantity are known as a scalar quantity. So now in physical quantities are mainly divided into two parts: scalar quantity, vector quantity. Scalar quantity. The quantity which requires only magnitude, not direction, is known as scalar quantity. Example of scalar quantity: mass, volume, density, temperature, distance, time, speed, work, etc. Vector quantity: the quantity which requires magnitude as well as direction also is known as vector quantity. Example of vector quantity: displacement, velocity, acceleration, momentum, force, etc. Difference between distance and displacement. Distance, it is scalar quantity. Displacement, it is vector quantity. So scalar means it has only magnitude. Vector means it has both magnitude as well as direction. It is positive quantity. It can be 0, positive, negative. Distance is the length of actual path covered. Displacement, it is the shortest distance between the initial and final position. Distance is always greater or equal to displacement. Displacement, it is always equal or less than distance. Difference between scalar quantity and vector quantity. Scalar quantity, it has magnitude only, no direction. Vector quantity, it has both magnitude as well as direction. Example of scalar quantity: mass, volume, density, time, temperature, distance. Example of vector quantity: displacement, velocity, acceleration, force, etc. Thank you. We will see in the next session.